your phone and follow us on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your number one online Southwest radio. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number one online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio, then Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight.
Alright, the summer transfer window has ended. Summer that looks like a winter summer transfer. Summer transfer window that looks like winter transfer window in Nigeria. Well, it's official. Like I said earlier, the summer transfer window has ended, and it was a funny evening last night. Jadon Sancho left Manchester United for Chelsea on loan with no obligation to buy, and also Sterling has been dragged, mugged, and thrown by Arsenal fans. Is now a gunner. In fact, Raheem Sterling has promised Arsenal fans that his best is yet to come. That right now, Arsenal fans will see his best at the age of 29. But never say never. So we saw the likes of Trevoh Chalobah and Armando Broja, the left Chelsea for a different team. Trevoh Chalobah joined Crystal Palace on loan. Armando Broja was supposed to join Ipswich Town on loan, but the deal couldn't go through as he switched to Everton. Now Armando Broja will be playing for Everton. Will be playing at the Goodison Park for the next 12 months. Well, that's not even up to 12 months. It's a 9 months. So Sterling, Armando Broja, Trevoh Chalobah, and who was the last Chelsea player that left the team? Okay, I think those are the 3 Chelsea players that left last night. And for Arsenal, while in the studio yesterday afternoon, we already talked about Ramsdale. As Ramsdale has already been announced by Southampton that is now a gunner. Alright, another Arsenal player that left the team. But there are 2 Arsenal players left the team last night. Yeah, Eddie Nketiah was announced by Crystal Palace last night that he had joined the team on a permanent deal. So sad. So sad to see Eddie Nketiah leave Arsenal. I know how Arsenal fans are feeling this. Alright, another Arsenal player that left the Emirates Stadium to another team. Well, it's Reece Nelson, but that was on loan. Reece Nelson reported that Reece Nelson will be going to Ipswich Town, but decided to join Fulham, to team up with his old teammates, Emile Smith Rowe, Alexander Iwobi, to cause havoc for other teams. Alright, quickly let's look at the biggest spenders and broken records in this particular transfer window. Now let me give you a transfer window breakdown. The transfer window for league clubs in England and Scotland has closed with a total summer outlay by Premier League teams of more than £1.96 billion. According to data from Football Transfers, the Premier League spend was more than double of its nearest rival, Italian Serie A. 8 clubs from England top flight broke their transfer record, but where was the best business done? What were the biggest deals? And who barely spent a penny? Alright, well, 2 of the many eye-catching deals were actually announced in early hours of the day after deadline day. After Chelsea winger, like I said, Raheem Sterling joined Arsenal on a season-long loan, the Blues confirmed the signing of Manchester United Jadon Sancho on a similar arrangement. Both transfer needed a deal sheet, which extended the 11 p.m. deadline by another 2 hours to be signed, with fans left waiting into the night for confirmation. But England striker Ivan Toney was also a late mover, completing a £40 million move from Brentford to Saudi Pro League. After teaming up with Al Ahly, the team Victor Osimhen was supposed to join. Before allowing Sancho to leave, Manchester United splashed out the highest fee on the day, signing Paris Saint-Germain and Uruguay midfielder Manuel Ugarte for an initial £42.1 million deal, which will rise to £50.5 million after add-ons. That made it 1 in, 1 out in central midfield for Manchester United after Scotland international Scott McTominay moved to Serie A to join Napoli for £25.7 million, which was confirmed. Elsewhere, Eddie Nketiah joined Crystal Palace from Arsenal in a deal worth region of £30 million, but Chelsea were unable to get a striker of their own, as meal for Napoli's Victor Osimhen did not materialize. World champions Manchester City had the lowest net spend of any Premier League club in the transfer window, actually turning in £115.8 million profit. £150.8 million profit. Wow! They spent just £21.4 million on Brazilian winger Saheed, but selling players such as forward Julian Alvarez, defenders Joao Cancelo, and Taylor Wood-Belly. All this brought profit for them in this window. In fact, none of last season's top 3 that was featured prominently when it came to net spend. Arsenal Football Club spent £93.9 million. In fact, Arsenal were the biggest spenders. Talking about last season top 3. Yeah, talking about last season top 3. Arsenal were the biggest spenders because they spent £93.9 million, including £38.4 million on Italy defender Riccardo Calafiori and £27.4 million apiece for Spanish duo David Raya and Mikel Merino. Also, players worth £76.8 million. Liverpool brought midfielder Federico Chiesa and goalkeeper Giorgio Mamadashvili. For selling players such as Fabio Carvalho, Seb van der Berg, and Bobby Clark, meant they made £40.4 million on profit. £40.4 million profits. Alright, Manchester City, of course, have won 4 successive Premier League titles, and currently they face 115 charges which they deny of alleged breaches of the league's financial rules. Well, for Chelsea, it's another busy window for Chelsea. This was another action-packed transfer window for Chelsea, whose total outlay since Todd Boehly became owner in May 2022 has risen to more than £1.3 billion. They did offload more players, 12, than they brought in 10. But in spending more than £203 million, they finished with a net spend of £46.5 million, more than 12 other Premier League clubs. Among their sales were £35.6 million deal for Conor Gallagher with Atletico Madrid, and also Ahmed Singh £38 million move to Aston Villa, and Romelu Lukaku joining Napoli for £28.2 million move. The figure do not include Belgian goalkeeper Mike Penders, who will join Chelsea next summer for a fee in the region of 70 million pounds, or 29 million pounds. Brazilian Estavio William, who also will join next season for 29 million pounds. Well, for Brighton, that did not shock you that Brighton were the biggest spenders in this transfer window. Brighton sold 6 players. Yeah, Brighton sold 6 players, and they brought in just 9 players. Well, Brighton had the highest net spend in the Premier League. Talking about this concluded summer transfer window. And Brighton had minus 153.6 million pounds net spend, or let me say total net spend, from an outlay of 195.7 million pounds. They paid a club record for Leeds United winger Jorginho Rota in a sum of 39.9 million pounds. That's approximately 40 million pounds. And they also paid 29.9 million pounds. That's approximately 30 million pounds for Newcastle United's Yakuba Miti, and more than 25 million pounds each for Fedi Kadioglu and Braja Gruda, Matt Wafer and Ibrahim Osman. By selling Billy Gilmore for 12 million pounds on deadline day, as well as Dennis Ondav for 22 million pounds earlier in the transfer window. Newly promoted Ipswich had the next highest net spend after spending 107.6 million pounds. Brighton were not the only club to break the transfer record either. Bournemouth recruited striker Evan Nielsen for an initial 31.7 million pounds. Brentford signed Igor Thiago for 30 million pounds, and Fulham brought in Arsenal's Emil Smith-Rowe for an initial 27 million pounds. Aston Villa, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham also broke their transfer record as well. But the 3 promoted teams all splashed some of their Premier League cash to try to improve their chances of staying up. Ipswich and Southampton have both spent more than 100 million pounds, while Leicester City paid out more than 75 million pounds. Ipswich spent 109 million on 10 players, 7 of whom are from Premier League clubs, including Chelsea Omari Hutchinson, who joined for 20 million pounds after a successful loan. Southampton signings, which included the deadline day arrival of Ramsdale, were from a wider variety of divisions. Leicester City, meanwhile, recruited exclusively from top division, with 4 of their 7 signings from Premier League and 1 from each of Italian, Portuguese, and Belgian leagues. That was how it went all through the transfer window. Now let's talk about Sterling. Do you think Chelsea rejects Raheem Sterling? Do you think he's going to blossom at the Emirates Stadium? And funny enough, apart from Anelka, I'm trying to remember his first name. Apart from Nicolas Anelka, we now have another player that played for Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal in the English Premier League. Yeah, apart from Nicolas Anelka and Sterling, there's no other player that played for all these 14. When I say all these 14, I'm talking about Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Raheem Sterling started transfer deadline days staring into oblivion as a member of Chelsea exiled bomb squad, but ended its back in the chase for major prizes at Arsenal. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta surprised the meal for the former England forward was probably the most eye-catching deal to goal before the transfer closed and signaled a swift and dramatic change in fortunes for Sterling. Until Arsenal made a move, the 29-year-old was facing prospects of spending months as an expensive outcast at Stamford Bridge, condemned to train away from the first team. As the most high-profile victim of Chelsea's apparently chaotic transfer policy under owner Todd Boehly's Clear Lake Group. Yeah, Clear Lake, they are trying to clear the lake. But he has been rescued from a career in cold storage by Arteta, who worked with Sterling at Manchester City when he was assistant to Pep Guardiola. Where Arteta's belief that Sterling can add extra dimension to Arsenal's attack, gives the forward an unexpected chance to reverse a deadline in fortunes from the first poster boy of Boehly's Chelsea regime to being told he had no place in new manager Enzo Maresca's plan. And he was also warned he would not get any minutes if he stayed. Well, Sterling fall from grace at Chelsea was brutal, after being described by Maresca in preseason as one of the important players. He was dropped for the opening game of the campaign against Manchester City, prompting a statement from his camp demanding clarity on his position. So far, the added indignity of being stripped of his number 7 shirt, which was handed to Pedro Neto when he arrived from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Maresca insists he likes wingers, as the deadline day loan signing of Manchester United Jadon Sancho to add to Neto's arrival proves. But he said Sterling was not the type of winger he liked. Chelsea's transfer strategy has prompted much debate and criticism, with the notion of Sterling sitting idle or training with the club's youngster while on the 5-year deal worth a reported fee of £300,000 a week he signed when arriving from Manchester City in a £50 million deal in July 2022, a prime example of its dysfunction. Okay. Now let's talk about other news regarding the transfer window. Nigeria forward Adesina Ayodele is thrilled with his move to Ligue 1 club Lille. The 18-year-old completed the permanent transfer to Les Doggers on Friday. Ayodele joined Lille from Nigeria Professional Football League outfit Beyond Limit Academy. The youngster spent a 5-year contract. According to him, says, I'm very happy to join Lille and to be part of the Lille family. For me, Lille is one of the best clubs in France, so I'm delighted to be here, he told the club's official website. I would like to thank all my coaches and teammates who have crossed my path, especially in Nigeria, and also thank Lille. Well, let's talk about Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen's proposed move from Napoli to Chelsea collapsed. The 26-year-old was linked with a move to the Blues all summer, despite keen interest from Al Ahly. However, Osimhen was not able to reach an agreement with the Premier League. This leaves the Nigeria striker future up in the air, as he has been frozen out by Antonio Conte in Naples. Conte has also brought in Romelu Lukaku to lead his attack this season. There is little hope that Osimhen could yet leave Italy as the transfer window in Saudi Arabia closes on Monday, the 2nd of September. Al Ahly are ready to pay Napoli a sum of 75 to 80 million euro for Osimhen. They have also offered the player a 4-year contract, which will see him earn around 33.6 million pounds. That's 40 million euro a season. That's approximately more than 600,000 pounds a week, and it's going to be tax-free. But as we speak, Al Ahly had already announced the signing of Ivan Toney from Brentford. So let's see if another Saudi Arabia team will come for Osimhen before 2nd of September. Alright, Ligue 1 clubs Stade the Rams have completed the signing of Nigerian youngster Hafiz Umar Ibrahim. Ibrahim joined the red and white from Ojudu City Football Club. The 18-year-old penned a 4-year contract with Luka Esna side. The forward trained with Chelsea early this year, but was not offered a contract. Ibrahim has now decided to kickstart his professional career by pitching his 10th with Rams. The forward trained with Chelsea earlier this year, but was not offered a contract. Ibrahim has now decided to kickstart his professional career by pitching his 10th with Rams. The striker will start with the club's B team, from where he's expected to graduate to the main team. Alright, quickly let's talk about the games that will be going down today, both at the MPFL and other top 5 leagues in Europe. But before I go there, let's talk about MPFL a little bit. Rangers will begin the defense of their Nigeria Premier Football League title against El Kanemi Warriors at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium today. The Flying Antelopes will be hoping to replicate the last 2 champions, Enyimba and Rivers United, who started their title defense on a winning note. Alright, Fidelis Lechukwu's men will also aim to go one higher at the end of the season, maybe becoming the first club to win back-to-back titles for the first time in a decade, when Kano Pillars achieved the feat in 2012, 2013 and 2014. Rangers head into the game as overwhelming favourites, at least going by the pedigree of the two teams. The 8-time champions lost some of their key players from last season, but have also recruited well. The Enugu club were unconvincing in their CAF Champions League win over US Zilimanjo of Comoros, but no, they must improve to start the new season on a positive note. El Kanemi Warriors are back in a tough light after spending few seasons in the Nigeria National League (NNL). Ali Zubairu's side will want lay down marker by claiming at least a draw in the game. Alright, quickly, let's talk about the games that will be going out today. Alright, talking about MPFL. Enugu Rangers versus El Kanemi Warriors. English Premier League, Arsenal, Brighton, Brentford, Southampton, Everton, Bournemouth, Ipswich Town versus Fulham, Leicester City, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, West Ham United versus Manchester City. Well, I would have loved to give you the crackdown of the 3 matches that could produce shock result this weekend, but I'm sorry, time will not permit me. But just watch out for Arsenal, Brighton, West Ham, Manchester City, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, MPFL is back starting from today. Now, my name is James Oduwadrotimi. Join me on Monday for another round of Sport Hour. Do have a lovely weekend.
Tune in for the rhythms that make you feel alive. And get ready to power up your day every day on Power